How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast, back with another video, playing some more of Horizon Forbidden West. Now, since the last video, I kind of given myself time to cool down and try to, honestly, try to, no, I'm still a little bit pissed. Let's go. So, I guess we were kidnapped by Tilda.
What was all this for? Some kind of survival bunker. What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain.
Let's see.
My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later.
Why do you keep the forgery?
I've always enjoyed studying the two side by side. Both painters capture light, color, and perspective. But what makes one a masterpiece and the other simply an imitation?
The forgery looks sharper.
Good eye. The details are crisp, the contrast bold. It tells us more, and yet we feel less.
What's in the letter?
Who can say? What does the painting tell you?
She's concerned. Whatever's written in the letter troubles her. Burden she can't put down.
Fascinating.
Why go through so much effort to make a fake masterpiece?
The forger initially painted under his own name, but found little success. His work was considered unremarkable. But when he took on the guise of Vermeer, suddenly it was celebrated as extraordinary.
But it was a lie. And he knew it.
Sometimes we struggle to glean what is real and imagined, even within ourselves. The irony of these two is that Vermeer died in obscurity. He had no idea his work would become some of the most precious, most copied, most preserved pieces in all history.
Nothing else?
Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn.
Okay.
And why can't Celine and Endymion be together?
Celine took a vow of chastity, promising to never take a lover. So when she fell in love with Endymion, she could only visit him at night while he slept.
But then wouldn't she be breaking that vow?
Think of it as a forbidden love. Though circumstance keeps them apart, still they find a way to come together, however briefly.
Aren't Celine and Endymion cold?
Perhaps we should move on to another piece. Shall we move on? This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits.
Okay.
About Jeremiah. If he knew his home would be destroyed, why didn't he save the people? Why save those relics?
He tried, but no one would listen to his warning, so he saved what he could.
But how did he know?
He was a prophet. He saw an army invade and destroy the city in a vision.
So it's more like he calculated which side would win a battle.
What matters is that he was right in the end. If not for him, all those wonders would have been lost forever. At least this way, some part of his world survived. You know what I like the most about this piece? Even though he's the sole survivor, his home in ruins, left with only the remnants of his world. The light keeps the shadows at bay.
There's still hope.
Precisely.
Okay.
Take as long as you like. A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus, depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
So, is this segment supposed to be like a character study, so to speak? Like, we're kind of getting an idea of some of her backstory, or at least some of, well, Tilda's backstory by looking at these paintings?
Works of art such as these can often cause us to look inwards at our own lives. I'm sorry about your friend. Had I been able to intervene, I would have. But the risk of losing you as well was too great.
Everything went by in a blur. I couldn't get to him.
You know, long before holograms and focus recordings, people relied on art to memorialize their loved ones. Because of works like this painting, their lives are immortalized. Rembrandt had 4 children by his wife. All but Titus died shortly after she gave birth to them. She passed not long after that. Titus became the only family Rembrandt had.
Which is why he painted him this way.
Indeed. Then tragedy struck again. Disease claimed Titus at 26. It's almost as if Rembrandt painted the future, closing in on him. Rembrandt actually painted several portraits of Titus, But this one has always been my favorite. It's honest.
What do you mean?
In others, Titus was portrayed in brighter, livelier states, but here, Rembrandt allows himself to express his true feelings. Sorrow, fear, hope, love, laid bare on canvas for all time.
You know what? I gotta say, a very interesting pastime has to be, you know, going to a museum or going to an art gallery and trying to depict the feelings of that could have been portrayed when creating a piece. I think above all, one of my favorites, at least my favorite artist, has to be Van Gogh. The style of I mean, at least for me, the style of his painting, my favorite pieces being the obvious Starry Night, as well as I think the sunflower painting is probably my favorite as well. But in the end, I mean, with seeing such vibrant, you know, pieces, also recognizing, you know, how tragic of a man Van Gogh was, or at least how tragic his life was, so to speak.
I see this one resonates deeply with you.
Yeah.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world.
The militia. They look disorganized.
Where others painted such scenes in a stiff and stationary manner, Rembrandt chose to show them in action, preparing to march. He wanted them to feel alive. You can almost hear the commotion.
Okay.
Who's the girl in the painting?
She's a strange one, isn't she? Bathed in light, though no one is paying attention to her. Many believe she's a symbol of the militia. A physical manifestation of their spirit, if you will.
But she's not real?
What's real in a painting? She's meant to represent the militia's virtue and victory. But I like to think they underestimate her. She looks as if she's seen something. What does she know? What secrets does she keep?
So, okay, that wording right there. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, because all these paintings so far, I mean, it's clear that they resonate to Tilda. That wording right there kind of sets off some red flags with me. Talking about secrets and stuff. Now, there's a possibility that I wouldn't be surprised if Tilda kind of, you know, thinks of her as that, you know, that female figure in the militia, but to an extent, I bet you there's some ulterior motive with Tilda for helping us.
The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
Where is the ship going?
To a faraway land, most likely. My ancestors used ships like these to explore the world, sometimes at great cost.
What were they looking for?
Anything of value. They were traders willing to face unknown dangers to make their fortunes. But no matter how far they went, they always turned their sails home.
So this Van de Velde only painted ships?
It was his specialty. Following in the footsteps of his father, Willem the Elder. The two had quite a journey of their own, taking them all the way to the court of a foreign kingdom.
Did they ever come home?
No, but eventually their lives worked it.
Huh.
Take your time. There's so much detail to take in, isn't there?
Okay. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious about this opera music. I want to say it's opera. Okay. So, guys, correct me if, So, trying to look into it, and, not much I can find, only that it's... I mean, the first thing that comes up is the music itself was created specifically for the game. It would have been nice if it was music that honestly could be closely to or reminiscent to Tilda's personality. Oh.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings weren't the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's leaded ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
If this ewer was a memorial, how did you end up with it?
As the Pharaoh's swarm closed in, my homeland's greatest museum gave it to me, along with many other works, in the hope that I could preserve them. A masterpiece like this was too important to lose to history. I even considered bringing it with me off-world to ensure its safety.
Why didn't you?
I took a calculated risk. This vault seemed more secure than the unknowns of space. Besides, I thought someday I might return. A long life, after all, has its advantages. Now, lo and behold, here I am.
Okay.
Exquisite, isn't it?
There's some more art back here too. That would have been cool to see some of that as well.
There you are. Feeling better? How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, and the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? That means you've seen
Incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
even if it means stopping your friends.
Especially so. Please, sit down.
Looks like fruit,
There. That's better.
biscuits, eggs.
Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
He would.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves? From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
He's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regalda and her rebels.
Even now she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been doomed. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. Except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way. One that only I know about. While Silence and my friends are busy battling each other. We'll take back Aden. We'll die out. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
Well, that senseless death. Alright, my focus.
My old focus. How did you find it, let alone repair it?
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic escape, bravo, by the way. Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave up the hunt. I wasn't so sure. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab and searched for any trace of you. That's when I found this little treasure. Not easy to repair, but certainly worth the effort. As I watched your life unfold, you were like a splash of color on a worn canvas. What Liz was, and more.
Did you show it to the others?
Of course not. It was your actions that inspired me to defy them. It's worth noting that if I hadn't found it and watched its contents, I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron. You'd be dead.
So I should be grateful.
If you like.
Alright, but what about you?
So you know all about me. What about you?
What would you like to know?
Start with your life on Earth.
When I was 8, terrorists flooded my home city. Thousands drowned, my parents included. I was one of the few who survived. My guardian sent me to boarding school. Among my peers, I was the strange girl, the orphan to be avoided. All because of circumstances beyond my control.
Oh. So we're a lot alike, huh?
Aren't we? You were an outcast. But you didn't let that stop you from getting what you needed. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of desolation and used my wits to build a fortune. First from the technical analysis of art and the detection of forgeries. Profitable expertise in those days. But as it turned out, the software I developed was even more useful for counterintelligence. From there, it was only a short step to gathering extremely valuable intelligence on my own.
You were a spy.
More like a service one could turn to for information.
Okay.
I had to remain anonymous, of course, to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity, Far Zenith inevitably sought me out.
So joining Far Zenith.
What happened when Far Zenith approached you?
They painted an irresistible vision of humanity's future. One where we need not fear illness or death, where we explored the furthest reaches of the stars and thrived. It was only later that I realized that they only intended to bequeath this future to the rich and powerful. the time I finally figured it out, the walls were closing in, Pharaoh's machines were devouring the Earth. So I accepted Farzenith's invitation to a berth on the Odyssey. I wanted this to come, but she had no good plans as she well knew.
Okay, the other Zeniths.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were, certainly. It wasn't until we were off-planet that I understood the true scope of their greed. I was grateful to simply be alive, but the others became obsessed with a kind of effortless immortality. They built a colony where machines serviced their every need, where any memory or fantasy could be endlessly savored in virtual reality. It wasn't life. It was stultifying, pampered dream state. As the decades passed, I withdrew more and more, alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now finally, having met you, I feel like I have a second chance.
To do what?
Help you. To fulfill Lys's dream, which isn't so different from Farzenith's original vision. A better future for humanity.
Alright, Beta.
You said Beta is not in urgent danger, so what are the Zeniths doing to her?
Putting her to work. Merging Hephaestus with Gaia. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be, but her life is not in danger. She's the only one who can do it.
Because you people made her to be nothing but a tool.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when I attempted any form of kindness towards her. That's why I created the data channel, a virtual place where we could speak in peace.
The data channel.
So this channel you shared with Beta, none of the other Zeniths ever found out about it.
Gerard believes he's the most cunning of all of us. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine that I would outwit him. The channel allowed me to interact with Beta away from their mistrustful eyes. It offered us a chance to be ourselves.
Until you cut off all contact.
Yes. Though it pained me. I was worried that our meetings would do her more harm than good.
She felt like you tossed her aside.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friendship anymore, but at least I ensured she was safe. I know it seems harsh, but you must believe that her well-being has always been paramount to me.
Alright, this place.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but for the art stored below. Cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly some of the greatest achievements of human civilization.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
Alright, the Zenith's plan.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed. That you came back to Earth because you had nowhere else to go.
It's true. After we reached our destination, a planet in the Sirius star system, we spent decades building a new home. The physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality, gone. To think of what we could have done. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank us out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated them. By the time the collapse was upon us, it was too late to stop it. Only a few of us made it to the ship in time. We set course for Earth, the only safe harbor left to us.
Which you decided to make unsafe for anyone else.
Not me. Gerard. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the smudges. No more primitive tribes, no more combat machines, only a blank slate to do with as he pleases. But we will stop him. All we have to do is get into that base.
The Zenith base.
What exactly is your plan to sneak into the Zenith base?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation, a passage that only I can access. When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide us with a window in which to rescue Aden and Gaia.
Alright. Beta's location.
Once we're inside the base, where will we find Beta and Gaia?
Here in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery once the others have been dealt with. With that in hand, we'll have everything we need to make this world as it should be.
Alright, and Silence?
How do you know about Silence's plan?
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful for that. But his subordinates? Not so much. He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of his dealings. The distribution of override technology, the arming of Tanakh rebels, and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's base.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can take down your shields?
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did it, I'm quite certain it will work. With it in the Tanakh army, victory seems to be within his grasp. Such a shame he'll be disappointed.
Alright.
Regala's only interested in killing Hikaru and waging war on the Karja. What does she have to gain by attacking Zeniths?
It's the price she must pay for her war. Without the ability to override machines, her little rebellion would have languished in the desert.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus. Machines to help her overthrow Hikaru.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can actually survive such a battle. And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus really answer to.
Silence.
Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, still he underestimates you. That blind spot is what will allow us to take Beta and Gaia right out from under him.
While hundreds of Tanakh are cut down outside.
Well, Elizabeth.
So you knew Elizabeth. What was she like?
This was everything she was. I see in you, Emily. Your ingenuity, your determination, your moral compass. You've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make them your own.
I'm not asking about me. Tell me about Elizabeth. What was she really like?
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, she always kept a part of herself locked away. It was like that from the moment we met.
How did you meet Elizabeth?
So when you met Elizabeth, she was what? Distant? Aloof?
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about machine learning. A touchy subject in those days. because regulatory authorities were just starting to clamp down on AIs. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work in automated environmental reclamation. But in her address, she was just starting to imagine the next step. An AI-driven system that wouldn't just act on its programming, but actually take responsibility for its sphere of influence.
To care about life. Not just follow orders.
Revolutionary stuff. I was fascinated. And I wanted to meet her for a long time. I watched her after her talk. She had spoken with such moral authority, such empathy. But after that, she retreated. I could tell she felt uncomfortable with all of her admirers. It was as if giving the talk had cost her something. I didn't want to be a pest, so I planned my approach carefully.
Your approach to Elizabeth.
So how did you finally approach Elizabeth after her talk?
I picked the right moment. The morning of the next day, right as she came back to the conference, she had just had her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced herself for the onslaught of colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk that I thought was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it wasn't, but she was very welcoming, almost as if we were previously acquainted. It was only halfway through the conversation that I realized she knew exactly who I was. It was quite a shock to me. My business was trafficking in secrets, and I took great pains to protect my anonymity. So that was Liz, perpetually one step ahead. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to know me far better than I knew her.
I guess I know the feeling.
Alright, so let's talk about the plan, because to an extent, yeah, a lot of people are going to die with Tilda's plan.
First floor. Novakast and the Tanakh. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tanakh survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a while longer and work on the merch.
I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Silent's army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Silent's only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenant. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring Silence to the table.
Not if. When.
She's gonna get it done. Okay.
Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
Alright. Jeez.
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
Man, this sucks. Oh, man. Oh, some more stuff.
When you're wounded, you have to strike back. Draw blood.
Hey! Can't I get one damn minute to mourn my friend?
Regala is going to slaughter my tribe to overthrow Hikaru. The Zeniths have Beta and Gaia. We can't sit around wallowing in our losses.
Katalo's right. We must fight.
Oh, all right. So what are we gonna do, huh? Take on all of Regala's rebels?
Not to mention the Zeniths. What can we even do? Throw ourselves at their base?
Something like that. So,
Oh.
After we lost contact with you, we regrouped and went to Gemini. What happened? The recording we found on Varl's focus cut off when that Zenith Eric...
the Zeniths were tracking Hephaestus. When Gaia trapped it in Gemini, they knew where we were. After Varl tried to stop them, they took Beta and Gaia. I only survived because one of the Zeniths turned against the others to save me.
One of them? Well... at least we didn't lose you too. So what do we do now?
We're going to defeat the Zeniths and get Beta and Gaia back. But first, we're going to stop Regala.
How?
Back in Gemini, Beta gave me a gift. There's something I need to do first to make it work, but it could put an end to the bloodshed.
Word is, Regala's readying her army for an all-out assault on the Grove. I need to be there.
I know. Go. Stand with Ikaro. And keep an eye on the sky.
Strike true as the 10.
The rest of you, whatever preparations you need to make, upgrades, resupplies, get on it. It won't be long before we take the fight to the Zeniths.
We'll be ready, Aloy. And when you're ready, meet me outside the east exit. I'd like to have a word in private.
Even when things are darkest, you're the flame that lights the way forward.
Just tell me one thing. Am I gonna get to smash up a bunch of Zenith bastards?
We all are.
Good.
Before I do anything else, I should check on Zoe. It sounded important.
It's all going to be okay. We can't give up now.
You look busy.
My studies are a good distraction. Especially after Culture Gemini. Varl, Beta, Gaia. Gone. And that's just the beginning. The Zeniths want to rob us of our future too.
We won't let that happen.
Alright, companions.
How are you holding up?
Varl's loss is heavy on everyone's mind. I didn't know him well, but I can see how much he meant to the others. Zoe and Aaron seem to have taken to it the hardest, but I don't quite know what to say to them.
They need time to sort through it.
And what about you? Will time heal your wounds?
I don't know. I try not to think about it. Seems like everyone's ready to take the fight to the enemy.
Kotallo more than most. If I were this Regala, I wouldn't want to cross him on the battlefield.
Regala still has a lot of machines on her side.
That's where you come in, I suspect.
If my plan works.
How are you training?
So, all of the tribes here are new to you?
Yes. I've been studying up on them. The most fascinating one thus far has been the Tenakth. An entire culture based on the holograms of an ancient museum. There's much they've misinterpreted, not unlike the Quen. But still, there's a nobility to what they've become. They're honorable and fearless.
And deadly.
True.
Tilda, the Zenith that Beta mentioned, she was the one who rescued me.
Did she say why?
She knew Elizabeth Sobek. Seems to think helping me is honoring her in some way. She was willing to share information on both Silence's plans and the other Zeniths.
But you still don't trust her. Where I come from, the more valuable the knowledge shared, the higher the price extracted. I'd be careful if I were you, Aloy.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's some ulterior motive to
I should get going.
Tilda.
Be ready to go on my signal, okay?
I won't let you down.
I know.
Oh, cool! I got the override for the slaughter spine.
All this time I've been so focused on what Elizabeth was like, what she would do. I was wrong to hold Beta to that standard. I probably shouldn't even be doing it to myself. I'll try to do better. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. I will, Rostin. Now and always. So Silen's plan was to trick Regala into sacrificing her tribe in a hopeless battle against the Zeniths. It's so heartless. Hikaru, Deka, Katalo, countless others. I won't let their lives be thrown away. Focus. It's Varl's. I used to think no Nora would ever accept one. Varl did. Even when he was overwhelmed. He refused to let me push him away. I failed Varl at Gemini. I should have pushed harder. I should have done more. I'd give anything to have him back.
Yeah, let's talk to Aaron. Is there someone else with her?
Hello. Oh, back already?
Tilda's the one who rescued me. Same one that spoke to Beta when none of the others would.
Did she say why she saved you?
She knew Elizabeth Sobek. Seems to think helping me is honoring her in some way. She was willing to share information.
But you still were to hire it.
Yeah, I already saw that
I should
one.
get going.
Be careful.
And for some reason, it was still showing that she had something to say. Weird, but okay. Alright.
I thought you were gonna go fight some Tanaks.
I wanted to check in with you first.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm just, picking up the pieces like everyone else. I'll be there when you need me.
I never doubted that.
Oh. Good. I'm glad you're back.
So am I.
Companions.
Do you think someone will be okay?
I don't think anyone's ever okay after losing the one they love. I can't tell you she's handling it better than I ever did. That keeps the rest of us level-headed.
Your training.
I know you hate waiting, but you'll have to stay back here a little longer.
Now, you go do what you gotta do, but are you okay? It's not just Varl we lost. Beta's gone. I almost lost him when I realized my sister had been taken by Derval back in the Sunday.
I'm getting her back. That's all that matters.
Understood.
Alright. Farewell.
I need to get going.
You better get there before Katalo tries to take on Regala's entire army by himself. And do me a favor. Don't go disappearing on us again.
I'll do my best.
Alright, so we gotta talk to Zoe.
Chill air is prickling my lungs.
Over here, Aloy. We would come out here to tend to the garden. Sometimes I needed fresh air. Other times we would simply sit and watch the sunrise. So when we returned from Gemini, it seemed fitting that he be laid to rest here. Now he can always look out at Plain Song and further east to the Nora Sacred Lands.
He would have liked that.
He often spoke of his sister, Vala. He said she used to gather her favorite golden blooms and tie them to her spear. Their mother called it useless, but Vala was stubborn.
Yeah, she seemed like that.
It wasn't easy. But I tracked down the flower. Gathered its seeds.
Well, she's gonna place it for Varl.
As wardens wither, roots rot in snow, still the sea rises, as certain.
This hurts. This hurts so much.
From death follows new life. So it is with the land. And so it is with us. I'm with child. Aloy.
Oh, drive the dagger into the freaking...
I was going to tell her
Oh.
Gemini. Instead, one day, I'll bring our child here. We'll sit among the blooms and watch the sunrise.
Way to twist the knife, why won't you?
I never got to tell him. To thank him. For saving my life, sure, but also for not giving up on me.
He always knew.
Oh, this game had to twist the knife. Oh. Oh, you assholes.
Goodbye, Varl. I promise to look after them. I'll try to visit again when I can. But for now, I need to go to the fabrication terminal to install the new override on my spear. Then I'll use it on the sunwing and get ready for an entrance where Gala will never forget.
There's some sun wings up there too.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. Man, beating the crap out of me makes you feel better. I'm welcome.
Yeah. I am... Again, way to twist the fucking knife. On top of us losing Varl, we find out, oh, lo and behold, Zoe is pregnant with his kid. You just stabbed me in the gut and just kept twisting the knife and left the blade in there. God, I love this game, but
Overall installed. Now to find a sunwing.
Yeah,
I think there are some roosting at the top of the mountain.
You guys are assholes. You guys are assholes.
Think you can manage things here while I go help Hikaru?
Stopping Regala's war. It'll help us take the fight to the Zeniths?
Yes.
Then I'll make sure the rest of us are ready upon your return.
Okay.
Okay, companions.
What's Aden doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost both you and Varl. But he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's stubbornness comes in handy sometimes.
You're training?
We'll be facing Spectre drones soon. Aden and Katalo have fought them before, so...
I already asked them to run us through some combat drills. Aden moves like an oaf, but he's good with that hammer.
Zeniths?
I know we both want to make the Zeniths pay for what they've done, but once we infiltrate their base, our priority will be to get Gaia and Beta out of there.
Don't worry. I won't go seeking revenge like some blood-crazed Tenakth. Wherever your arrow strikes, mine will follow.
Let's hope we hit our targets. I need to get going.
Whatever you plan on doing against Regala, you better return to us in one piece.
I'll try.
I'm kind of wondering, because there's 2 missions that I had started but couldn't finish because of this.
Okay, I need to find a sunwing to override. Better head up the mountain.
I wonder if I should try to swing by those locations to assist.
Good. There are sunwings up here. I'll have to approach them quietly.
Here we go.
Got it.
So,
This is it! I'm in the air!
Tilda, I'm in the air.
Then you'll want to pick up an energy cell on one of the ancient Horus Titans. But first you must send out a pulse to activate them. I've sent you the necessary software. To deploy it, you'll have to override one of the communication machines you refer to as Tolnecs. There's one in the middle of the desert that should do nicely.
On it.
Oh, this is actually pretty cool. This is the one that I couldn't access before. Yep, now I can access it.
There's a Tolnec. Need to get on top of its head. Now, how to land this thing. Made it. Just gotta override it. Okay, Tilda. I've overridden the Tolnec.
Good. And the energy cells are now primed. Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Okay.
Whoa! Get used to that.
I'm kind of wondering if I should stop by... You know what? No, we're going to focus on the main stuff. Focus on the main stuff right now.
She flies like the 10.
There's the energy cell. The Titan's back. Got the cell. Now on to the grove. Pulse from the Tolnec should have reactivated all the energy cells in the region. I should be able to pick up more from any Horus I fly to. It'll be useful, even after I deal with Novella.
Okay, this map should be completely clear now, unless more secrets popped up. You know, this is actually pretty cool, and to an extent, kind of goes back to, I mean, what they had originally planned for the first Horizon. Because they did have it set up where, for the first one, the main character, you know, I mean, before she was called Aloy, was able to fly on a pterodactyl or a, you know, a machine. Kind of like what we're doing now. Which I'm glad that they were able to bring this into, like, the final product. Alright.
Morgala's inside. Hikaru will soon be dead. It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here goes.
It's Aloy! She flies on the wings of the 10.
The tide has turned! Push through!
End of the line, Hikaru. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible?
Regala!
There we go.
Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me.
Easy to say when you're on top of a machine.
You were saying?
Well, that was just to get your attention. I don't need any help to take you down.
Fine. I accept your challenge. And once I'm done with you, I'll get to finish the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
This fight is just beginning!
Oh shit.
I am the lightning and the fury!
Ooh, that's got hurt.
Alright, so that's how it's gonna be. This needs ammo.
There we go. Come on. Oh shit.
This is where it ends!
Yeah, it is.
I wait! Here I am again, on my knees before bootlets and cowards. Go ahead, run me through.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her. By our rights, you must decide her fate. I spared her once, but only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
She's dangerous, all right. But maybe that's exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether you live or die.
There's another battle ahead.
I'm not here to forgive you for your crimes. But there's another battle ahead. Against an enemy more powerful than anything you can imagine. And I need people. A squad. That's willing to do whatever it takes.
I don't want your mercy.
It's not mercy. The battle I'm talking about will be charging into a nightmare.
A better death than this? Yes.
She's all for it.
My blood is yours. Your enemies are mine.
Meet us at our stronghold, in the mountains near Plainsong.
You mean to send her alone? Without even an armed guard?
She does not need it.
I will be there. You have my word.
I'll hold you to it.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room.
Okay.
He surrendered to our guards outside the grove. Claims he has an urgent message for the Outlander who defeated Regal.
So, state it.
It's for her alone. From an interested party.
Heh. Oh. This is gonna be good. He is not. He's probably not happy.
I'm gonna need some privacy.
Clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
I'll see you back at base.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Armor for the battle ahead. May it keep you safe.
Oh, no set of armor.
Thank you.
Oh, Silas is not happy. He's probably not happy about this.
Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tanakh for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong. I don't need a Tanakh army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Aloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Oh.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I agree to that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship.
That's what he wants.
So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong. Time to submit to the inevitable silence and follow the person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late.
I mean, to an extent. I mean, per Ultimate, that is what he wants.
Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board. So head to my base.
Impressive. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Now that I can fly, I might want to see what else I can do before I head back.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually want to do a couple of those things.
Get the